It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another one. We're back to talk about Season 10 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at one of the pictures that they released from one of the bonus episodes of Season 10. Now, we have looked at all of the pictures that they have released so far from the bonus episodes, but there was one picture that I didn't really dive into in detail in the other video that I did, so I'll be breaking it down in this video. This particular picture is a picture of Maggie hiding behind a tree. So I'm going to take a look at that picture and explain what I think it is. Now, that particular picture is most likely from Season 10 episode 17, which is the very first bonus episode, which is called Home Sweet Home. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at that picture and I'll try to explain how I think that picture could potentially be setting up future storylines. So stay tuned. We'll be right back to break it all down and explain it in detail. Alright, before we jump into this video, as always, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community. Both share the video and smash the like button, and also make sure to press the bell on the bottom right corner to be notified when we upload on the channel. So with that out of the way, let's jump right into it. So this is the picture right here that we're talking about. Obviously, it's a picture of Maggie hiding behind a tree looking at something. Now, the way this is set up, based on this picture, it looks like she's spying on someone or looking at something that might potentially be a threat. Now, what's very interesting is that if we take a look at the synopsis of the very first episode, 1017, from which this picture is most likely from, we can kind of connect the dots because there's something in the synopsis that links directly to this picture right here. So I'm going to read the synopsis and then we'll talk about it. So the synopsis reads, Maggie has returned with a story she's not ready to share, even when her past catches up to her. Negan's safety is at stake again. Daryl and Maggie fight an unseen and unknown threat. So that's the part. That's extremely interesting. So Maggie and Daryl are fighting an unseen threat. That's quite a tease. Especially if we put that synopsis next to this picture, it could definitely explain a lot of stuff. Now, there's a couple ways they could go with this. This picture right here and the synopsis can actually be explained in quite a number of different ways, some of which are more interesting than others, and some of which make more sense than others. But before I jump into them, I want to show you this picture right here as well. So they also did release this picture right here. Now, in this picture, Maggie looks different. It doesn't look like it takes place at the same exact time as the other picture that we looked at, because Maggie is wearing a different jacket and I think her hairstyle is even a little bit different. Now, obviously, the interesting part of this picture is what we see in the background. We see someone with a camouflage, with a knife, and it looks like they're sneaking in to attack Maggie. And Maggie herself looks like she's spying on someone. Now, so that's interesting as well. And I think those two pictures, even though they may be from different timelines, they both have something in common, which is the unseen threat. And I'll explain exactly what I mean by that. If we take a look back at this picture, I think this is a flashback. I think this is a flashback of Maggie before she came back to the group, after Rick disappeared. Keep that in mind. On the other hand, this picture right here, I think is from the current timeline. I think this is after everything kind of goes down at the end of Season 10 episode 16. Maggie is most likely looking at whispers. So obviously when she shows up, most of the whispers are killed, but I'm assuming that there are still some roaming around. We even see some possible whispers surrounding Father Gabriel and Aaron. So we know that there are most likely some whispers still around. So I think in this particular image, Maggie is just looking at a whisper, and she will most likely kill a whisper in this particular scene from which this picture is from. It might even be Maggie's very first whisper kill. I know that we saw her kill a whisper when she saved Father Gabriel, but this one will be a little different because we're right there with her. Also, I think this potentially connects to this picture right here, which is Maggie confronting Negan for the second time. Now, obviously, there is no confronting. She's just looking at him, but you know what I mean. This is definitely going to be an awkward scene, but I think these two pictures are connected. I think that Maggie after she possibly kills some Whisperers, will find Negan. And I think it could be very interesting if we see a storyline, a small storyline, in which there are still some Whisperers around and they are a threat. It's going to be a situation where Maggie and Negan have to work together to kill the Whisperers and then kind of get back to what they were doing, which is basically try to resolve their issues. Now, with that said, in this particular timeline, the unseen threat that we're talking about is the Whisperers. But at the same time, it's possible that the unseen threat could be this character right here in the background. He's obviously an unseen threat because he's camouflaged, and it would kind of make more sense if Daryl was with Maggie here, because that's what the synopsis says. Now, there is also a possibility that this character right here could be with Maggie, like he could have come with Maggie, but I think that would just be too much because we already saw that character in the Iron Mask with Maggie, so it would be a little too much to have another person like this, like a standout character like that, come with Maggie. So because of that, I think that's a little less likely, and I think that it's more likely that this guy right here or this girl right here in the background is someone that didn't come with Maggie. So now the question comes up, who is this person? And I don't really have an answer to that, but I think this could be a TV only storyline that they are bringing in. So it's something that wasn't in the comics and it's brand new for the TV show. And I think that it would be a very good kind of storyline to stretch out the story a little bit in these bonus episodes. Now, unlike this unseen threat that we looked at, which is either this character in the background or Whisperers, the unseen threat from this picture, which I think is a flashback, may be a little different. I think that the unseen threat that they're talking about here could possibly be connected to Rick. Now, I'm not saying that Rick is the unseen threat. I'm just saying that Rick could have a part in that storyline. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Remember what I said earlier? I think this takes place around the time when Maggie first left the group, which coincided with the time Rick disappeared. So I think what we could possibly see here is Maggie finding hints and clues about the CRM, or a very organized group that's roaming the area. She might not necessarily know exactly that they are responsible for Rick's disappearance, because if she did, I'm sure that she would have told the group, because we do know that Maggie exchanged letters with the group back and forth for a long time. So if Maggie knew for sure that Rick was alive and that there was a group out there responsible for his disappearance, she would definitely let the group know. But because that didn't happen, that leads me to think that she doesn't know for sure. But I do still think that this picture right here teases that Maggie might have found some teases or clues about a large group in the area. Who knows? She might even be looking at a CRM soldier right here, but she doesn't really know who he or she is and, you know, what they're doing there. What we could possibly see is a storyline that kind of looks similar to the storyline that we saw in Fear the Walking Dead, where Al was seeing evidence of the CRM and even came face to face with a CRM soldier named Isabel. So we could possibly see something like that. So that means that the first episode back, we might see some hints about the CRM, which is very, very interesting. There is a small chance, I would say a very, very small chance, that we might see something with Rick. Now, I don't mean that Rick will actually show up, but I think that we might see some more hints or clues about Rick's role in the CRM or his connection to the CRM that we're actually going to get to see in the movies. Now, I don't think that Maggie's going to see that, but I think that the audience might see that. It'll be a situation where Maggie leaves and then the camera kind of pans around and then we see something as the audience that gives us a clue about Rick and what might happen with Rick later on. Something along those lines. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go through in this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to share and smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to join our community and also press the bell to be notified when we upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.